Hey, what's up, you guys? Steve Loper here from the Heavy Hitter Podcast. I know it's been a while. We just posted one. We're going to have back-to-back episodes for you. We decided we're going to end season 1 at season 25. We're going to do seasons in 25 increments. Is that okay with you, Josh?
That's okay with me. I think
Me
it's
and
okay
Josh.
with the Heavy Hitter Nation too.
Yeah, I hope it will be. We're not really asking permission. I think that's what we're just going to do to them.
We're diving right in.
Josh and I get a lot to talk about, man. We haven't talked in like weeks. You know, the title of this podcast tonight is When Life Gets in the Way, You Push Through and You Get Your Shit Together. Like, I've just had a super busy time over the past few weeks with starting a new job, going on a 10-day vacation, coming back to the new job, and it was in a new office. We had moved while I was gone, and really just establishing some relationships, establishing myself in the office, finishing off swim team, like summertime, new babysitter. It's just all, it was all fucking crazy, to be honest with you. And I miss my desk at home. I miss working from home. I just miss the free time that I had, man. I have to just push through. I think I've got everything sort of behind me, and reached out to Josh again tonight, and he's always game to get up on the mic, and that's what we're doing.
I'm always game, dude. How long have you been in that new job?
Since June 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, but 10 days of that gone on vacation.
Yeah, right. Dude, I feel like since you started, we've recorded one episode maybe?
You called it.
I did call it.
You said, I think this job is going to mess up the podcast.
I was like, the Heavy Hitter Podcast is going to shit.
Well, I mean,
it's understandable, man. You gotta.
Yeah, but I had a lot of dedication wrapped into that, man, and I thought I was going to be able to be a man of my word. It was just fucking. It's like I felt like I cracked out, or like, just fell off the wagon or something like that. I just couldn't, like, I could only do so many things, and like work, supporting my family, those are all like number ones. Like, this is something I love to do and passionate about doing, but I can put this on pause for a second,
right,
and take care of business and then come back.
It's not making any money yet.
No. But if we need any sponsors out there, or if there are any sponsors out there, right, Josh?
Yeah. Even a Johnny's Pizza right about now would just, if he's just supplying pizza, I would just be like, what up? And I'm just saying that because I'm sure it's really good, but I'm also on a 2 of 3 day juice cleanse. So I'm just like, I'm so hungry.
I saw that. You're drinking those little packages 3 times a day, and that's it.
No, it's 8 pouches a day.
8 pouches a day?
8 pouches a day. For the last 2 days, that's all I've had, just liquids.
Does it feel good?
I felt really good today. And I haven't been drinking coffee, no alcohol, which usually there's not a day that goes by that I don't have some alcohol or coffee. So it was good. I mean, I definitely recommend everyone try it. I don't know if I'm game for day 3 tomorrow.
But you're gonna do it though. You've come this far. You're gonna make it through one more day, dog.
Do I gotta do one more day? Because the thing is you don't necessarily have to do all 3. Like doing all 3 is like very like top of the top. Like some people just do like day 1, and like after day 1 you feel better. Like I lost 3-4 pounds, obviously all water weight or whatever, but like, like the bloating has gone down. Like my pants are even like a little saggy. But what I'm concerned about is I could make it another day, but I'm afraid of what Thursday might look like, dude. I might, like, I don't want to go back to eating like completely unhealthy.
Yeah, that's where you eat like 3 bites of something for breakfast. 5 bites of something for lunch.
You got to ease into it, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine.
So,
what the hell you been on? What the hell you been doing?
Enough about that shit.
It's been weeks. I just posted, like, we recorded 2 weeks ago, and I just posted it tonight. I mean, that is absolutely uncalled for, and I apologize, but it did get posted tonight. That was our 24th episode. We're up to like, we're going to be cracking 1,000 downloads or views or whatever you call it here soon, and we are only 20 plays away from beating last month. So we're not trending, but I mean, it is like if we would have stuck to the plan, man, we would have fucking doubled what we did last month.
That's crazy. Hey, big shout out to Heavy Hitter Nation for checking in. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and now like the episodes per plays per episodes has gone up, and we've only put out one. So, I mean, I appreciate anybody who's listening. I don't know how long you listen for. If you only listen for like 7 seconds, which, hey, that's cool. I mean, but if you listen to the whole thing, I definitely appreciate you. And I see, we had Ryan Westa on the podcast. He's been putting out podcasts left and right. And I mean, there's a lot of people that are, putting in the work, and I'm just like, oh man, our podcast dreams are over.
No, they're not.
I don't
like that's it. What we should do is come up with a number, like say maybe it's 25. That was a stretch. It was like a, it's a little stretch, but every once in a while you get, a weekend off or like a break. So that's the point of seasons, I suppose. So people don't get burnt out. You do a season 1 and you come back, you regroup, you live life for a little bit, and then come back and say, what's up? Catch back up, get back into it, do season 2.
I kind of like that because then you have more to talk about too. You know what I will say, and then I want to hear more about you and we'll bring some value to the audience, is I just feel like the universe has like a weird way of working. And what I mean by that is, so your boy Loper Khan texted me Saturday morning, and Friday night I was having some drinks, and I'm just like, man, Heavy Hitter Podcast is over.
Is that what you were thinking, huh?
It's done. I was thinking about you, and I was like, I was hoping life was treating you well, and I know how busy you are, and I'm just like, it's over. And I wake up Saturday morning, and I got a text message from you, and I'm like, okay, we might still be onto something. Well, and the funny part is my wife wanted to switch our downstairs bedroom and our office, so that's why I'm in the new deal right now. She said that the lighting needed to be better, which I know is something you've said for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
And then I was thinking like Friday night, I'm like, why the hell did we even switch it? It took a little bit of work. Had to undo the bed, whatchamacallit, the headboard.
What was her reasoning for switching it?
She wanted she just thought the lighting was better in here, and she thought that she's like, for podcasting and videos and stuff like that. I was like,
old lady's on board with it all now, huh?
It must be. Maybe she's the only listener listening to it like 300 times.
No, I hear from people every so often.
Yeah. Checking in
out there. How was Canada, man?
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah. So posting those mountainous pictures and.
Yep. Went to Whistler, Canada. Had to get the passport. It was super, super fun. So it was for my wife's work retreat, so I got to enjoy it a lot more than she did. And we had a black tie event on Saturday night. Everyone got pretty tore up, including myself.
What was that? What was that movie where the who was it? It's not where the guy steals the show.
Is that The Greatest Showman?
No. It's
your favorite?
The guy goes to a family, not a family, or a wedding crashers.
Oh, Wedding Crashers. Yeah.
And somebody steals the show and I don't know.
I love Wedding Crash. That's a good flick.
Never mind. But how was the black tie fair?
What's that?
How was the black tie fair? Did you get all shaved up, cleaned up, get your hair?
Yeah. Was wearing the tux. Had to rent that tux from Men's Warehouse for $229 because I couldn't commit to keeping my figure, for years to come.
What's the purchase price on a tux?
It was like just for the jacket and the pants for Calvin Klein, which is like the top line that they have. It was like $650. You could have done like the step below it was like, I think it was like $250. But what you don't know, or what they don't really tell you, is you got to buy all the pieces for it, right? You got to buy the shoes, and you got to buy the special white shirt.
Yeah,
it's not the cufflinks and the tie and the vest and like.
Yeah, for as little as you're going to use a freaking tuxedo, man, a rental is the way to go.
Well, and obviously they can always bring it in, but they can't bring it out. So it's like, I don't know if I can commit to keeping the weight that I'm at. I've been lifting a lot. trying to put some muscle on and stuff, so it does burn more fat. And it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna look like next year, and I'm not ready to commit to that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so we got super tore up Saturday night, and then we decided to do just something completely crazy and go zip lining on Sunday morning when we're completely hungover, dude. That's no joke. You get on like a razor and you go like 15 minutes up into the mountains, and like the first drop is like almost a mile long. You're like more than 600 feet up. I was hungover. My stomach hurt. I thought I was going to shit myself on the way down that thing and like puke all over. Like I thought I was going to come down that mountain just like one big mess to like the fucking group that was waiting for me.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. But the funny thing is, adrenaline's a crazy thing, dude. Like after that, my stomach, my hangover was completely gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was crazy.
Yeah,
like
being all beautiful. It's probably cool air up there. Like, you weren't thinking about being hungover when you were 600 feet above the freaking trees and whipping through the air, right?
No, it's so funny though. Like everyone, because they were taking photos and stuff, and everyone's like not hanging on to the thing, and like you see me, I'm just like this, like thinking the harness is gonna break. Like I really didn't enjoy the first one at all. I was just focused on like the rope ahead of me. I didn't look down. I think I barely looked side to side. I was so scared, dude. I'm not a big fan of heights, but
I get a kick out of watching those videos of those people that get on that slingshot ride where they sit you in the seat, you and your buddy or you and your girl or whatever it would be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it goes back and they don't really tell you, and then it just launches you in the air and you bounce around. People like pass out all the time on those things.
I love seeing those videos from time to time. You see the dude with his girlfriend and he passes out or whatever.
Yeah. He's like, girl, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. He's like, ah.
And then she wakes him up and then he like passes out again. It's like, that'd probably be me, dude.
I love that stuff.
What else have you been up to, dude? I mean, you just crazy.
Nothing, man. Just the job, like wrapping my head around it, getting to know my team. Like swim team just ended tonight. We had our award ceremony, and sure enough, last night I get a text, Steve, do you want to, be the MC at the award ceremony? And of course, I'm like, sure. I'm like, babe, should I, do this tomorrow night? And she's like, yeah, you can do it. And I'm like, sure. And then all day today, I'm kind of like, why the hell do I get myself into this situation? I had to go talking to in front of like 400, 500 people, maybe something like that, and I don't like doing that. I didn't have anything sort of prepped up, but I just went up there and did my thing and I survived. I tried to make a joke. It didn't go over well. But it was fun, man. Everything's been good. Nothing has been wrong. Nothing has happened like negative. Everything's still absolutely going fantastic. Just busy. You know what schedule I had. I worked in the office at an office on Monday, and I was home 4 days a week. Go where I want, when I want, see who I want, clients, phone calls, emails, as I wanted. Now I'm like 9 to 4:30 or so. But as soon as I get home on Mondays, it's piano. On Tuesdays, it's swim. On Wednesdays, it's something else. Thursdays we might have off, but usually consisted of something.
Well, Thursdays you have bowling, right?
Yeah, Thursdays I have bowling. Like, I mean, it's just constant. It's constant. And so it's just a matter of like, okay, finding the new normal,
Right.
So that's been it. But my boss, man, like, God, what a blessing. Boss man, the publisher of the new place, is just the nicest, supportive guy you'd ever meet. Like, I'm a month into the job and he's like, Steve, you are where I'd hope you'd be in 6 months. He just says these things. Brian, my buddy at work, did a presentation the other day. And at the end of the presentation, the boss man's like, fantastic job. Great job. Here's maybe one thing I took note of that I would have done different. Gives you some criticism. Fantastic job. And afterwards, it was just me and Brian in the room. And he used to work with me at my old company. And I said, dude, did you just hear what he said? Just the positivity coming out of him, and he's making you feel good. He's making me feel good. It's just like, you know, went up to him, gave him a big old, you know, like a bear hug or something like that. And just, you know, it's motivating to work for somebody who is in a good mood and passionate about it and part of the process. And and then I saw him in the hallway earlier, and I told him thank you for like just feeding that positive energy on Brian, because it's going to make him that much better. And it's fun to work for, man. It's been a long time since I worked for somebody who actually was involved.
Yeah. Positivity always wins, right?
That's it, man. And it's the truth.
It makes you actually want to work. And
yeah, and I have noticed too, like when I was at the house, you know, was I working? Was I podcasting? Was I working? You know, it's kind of like that. Now at work, I show up, you know, get there 8:30 or something before the staff gets there, knocking out emails. When the staff gets there, I'm saying, hey, I'm bringing in coffees to them. And I would work like on my job from 8:30 to 8:30 to 4:30, something like that. You know, I'm not fucking around on YouTube. I'm not making a podcast. I'm not, you know, I'm staying focused on it and I'm enjoying it. I want to make the team better. I want to get things done. I'm putting together a campaign right now for a big push we're doing in August, and hopefully it goes well. We'll see.
It's awesome, man. Well, I mean, they say like 76% of Americans are like disengaged from their job. So, I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to leadership, you know what I mean? And I get that there's times where you have to be, you know, a leader has to do some things, say some things, and, you know, keep things going. It's not always easy, but at the same time, like, people are people. Like, show your people that you're there for them, you're cheering them on, you're there for their family. Like, actually, like, get to know them. Some leadership is just so weird.
I just try to talk to them, and you know, when I first showed up, they saw me as a threat. Like, they didn't know me; they were sizing me up the whole time. And my whole job since then has been like, I'm a good dude. Like, I am not against you. I want you to win. I want to win. I want us all to be successful. Like, I am here and on your team. Like, and I've had some pushback where like I've heard that I was playing favorites, and I've been like, I've been here for 3 weeks. I don't know nothing. I'm not playing favorites, you know? Right. And then I've had like, I feel like you're trying to rein me in, like the schedule of work and stuff like that. I'm not trying to rein nobody in. I want you to do you. Let me get a grip on what I'm doing. And then if we need to talk about reining in, we'll talk about it, but it's not going to be this month. It's not going to be next month. Like, let's give it a while. You keep doing you keep doing your job, hustle, and we'll circle back. But everything is perfectly fine. I am not, you know, heads are not rolling around me. You know, I am positive. I'm happy. I want to be happy at work. I want you to be happy at work. That is it. Positivity is like all I want to bring at this moment.
Right. For sure. Well, especially because people spend so much time there, right? I mean, we spend more time at work than we do at home. So it's like the last thing that you want to do is be around someone that's not happy or miserable. And like, you don't want that for them, but you also don't want them to be that because you don't want it to rub off on you.
Yeah. I'm 13 years out of an office environment. You know, I've worked from home for 13 years. I'm getting back into that. So when I talk about the new normal, it's just like, oh, I got a job, I got to go to work now. I have to like reinsert myself into a workplace and have coworkers. Like, and it's not just my team, it's a publisher, there's an editor, there's a whole editorial staff. There's you know, like the admin lady, there's a designer. Like, I don't know any of these people, and now I'm spending, you know, 8 hours a day with them. 9 hours a day, something like that.
I mean, that's an adjustment, dude.
It is, but if the environment's right, it's not bad at all.
For sure.
I'm still like sizing up, like, when do I need to go in? When is it okay for me to get out of here? Like, if my work is done, am I cool to scoot? Like, those questions you don't want to ask in your first month.
Right.
So I'm just sizing that stuff up. I'm just trying to do a good job. I don't know what I'm doing, really. I've never managed, you know, before, and I'm just trying to do my best, and hopefully I'm doing a really good job, and hopefully I'm doing good enough at the same time. You know, I don't know.
Right. That's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, man? How's the real estate business?
It's not too bad. So I had a closing on Friday, and young couple, they were very happy. The market, I feel like, is changing a lot, though. There's been like a lot of stuff coming on, a lot of price decreases. I did an open house on Sunday. Only like 4 couples came through, which is like, I don't know, for 2 hours isn't very good. I don't know what that looks like down by you in North Carolina, how many people they usually see through an open house, but I've heard, even on the coast, like the market is just shifting. So, just kind of grinding away, man.
Yeah, that's one thing. My buddy was, Kellingbird, who was on the poker player, sold his house in Vegas. He just sold his house, and it was on the market for a long time for my neighborhood. It recently sold, and I heard that was like the best deal in the neighborhood that the family got there.
Really?
They did a little price drop just to dump it since he was already, 2,000 miles away.
Yeah.
But that busy street and the piece of property that he's on, it's on a hill, is on a busy street. Wasn't the best piece of property. Now, like 10 years ago, before the neighborhood was super busy, it was great. 10 years later, now that the neighborhood's a lot more busy, there's a lot more, parking issues and stuff like that on the streets.
Yeah.
It just sort of changed the game on them.
Well, then with interest rates going up too, I mean, not everyone can afford that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't know the first thing about interest rates. I have no idea if they're going up, down. I don't have any of that.
Yeah, they've gone up a little bit. I mean, a little bit, a lot of it. I don't know what you want to call it. The last time that I saw, actually, the last couple deals that I've had, people have had to buy down their interest rate because it's gone up so much from when they first started.
Oh yeah.
So I think, I'm not a mortgage lender. I don't know what someone's credit is, obviously, that's listening to this, but I feel like I've heard like interest rates are like 4.75, 5%. That's a lot from like the 3%, 3.25% that we were at for like a 30-year. Bottom line is you need a mortgage person that is like going to do a good job for you,
Yeah.
That's it. But I don't want to bore you with real estate stuff, man. It's just one of those things where I definitely like it and I enjoy it, but I just watching, I don't want to mention his name, but I watch some stuff on Facebook and YouTube, and he just talks about loving the process, and I'm like, do I love the process? Like I love the clients. I've been very blessed with the clients that I work with, but do I actually love the process of? And maybe I just don't love the old school, like, cold calling and shit. I don't know, but it's just something like I'm trying to be very cognizant of. I'm not going on record saying that I don't love the process, but I think, and you probably think about it too. I mean, or maybe you're so new into what you're doing, but eventually there comes a point in time where it's like, do I love what I'm doing? Am I passionate about this? Does this really?
That's why I change jobs whenever I change jobs. I mean, it's not because I'm moving out of town or because I'm not making enough money. Hell, I'm making less money now than I was a few weeks or, a few months ago. But and that wasn't really a process issue. Like when I was working in the car business, being for the bank and calling on car dealers, I did that for 7 or 8 years. And that process got old. It was the same thing over and over and over again. I didn't see any movement. I didn't know what I was going to do. Like nothing was changing. I didn't see any room for growth. Got tired of the process.
Yeah.
Dipped out.
Yeah.
Got into advertising because it was something I was passionate about, like marketing, advertising. I mean, I was in on that. Like I enjoyed it. So I wanted to get my feet wet. I went over to my first, advertising gig, and it worked out for a couple of years, but it was like a management thing. Like I wasn't in, they weren't active. They weren't, I wasn't fulfilled. So I dipped out, and now I'm working for this guy that, I'm really enjoying. I hope it stays this way for a long time because I can get into this once, I keep telling him, like, I want to see myself in a year from now. Like when I know the rate sheet, when I know all the products, when I know the process, when I know the people that I need to get in touch with to get this thing done and this thing fixed and this moved over to here. Like now it's just kind of like, a deer in the headlights. Like somebody calls me about something. I don't know the answer yet. I have to go ask my reps that have been there that know the answer.
Right.
I'll figure it all out.
Right. Well, and the other thing too is like, I don't know if it's like such the process, but just like the way things are. I mean, could you imagine being a real estate agent with, your crazy family schedule with, swim on Tuesday, piano lessons and this, that, and the other thing, and like working.
I'd have to work with clients from 8 to 4. Like, I mean, you want to go see a house at 6:30? I'm probably not your guy.
I'm probably not your guy.
Yeah.
Because you're a family man.
Yeah, that would have been first, man. That wouldn't lasted long for me, I don't think, because it's like selling cars, man. I would love to sell cars. I would. That would be a fun gig. You get to hang around with car salesmen, or they have a bad rap, but they're all super nice dudes. They're hustlers. They like to work and have a good time, but I just can't work from 9 to 9. And have like a Tuesday and Sunday off. Like, it just does not work for me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that's just it. It's like, like this past Sunday was absolutely gorgeous, and we don't get a whole lot of, those days in Minnesota. But it's, the boys really wanted to go to the beach and stuff, and it's more than a 2-hour open house, but the prep time you put into it and getting ready and stuff like that. And I feel like I didn't give them the best Sunday that, I could have given them if I didn't do an open house, but I'm not, being too hard on myself about that. But anyways, enough about that shit. That's,
well, the title of the podcast, man, just real quick to see if you have any words on this, man, and then we can cut it off and dip out and just let people know we'll be back. But when life gets in the way, you push through and you get your shit together. Like, have you had an instance that you can think of where just life just got caught up and you had to put something on the back burner? I mean, I know it's a kind of a random question and might be hard to think about just off the top of your head, but think of any circumstances where something like that's come up.
I think so. I mean, and I think that's normal. It's got to be normal for a lot of people. For me, I would say I didn't start, and this is probably, I had small, big, I mean, call it what you want it. I guess it's different for everybody, but I finally started working out again in January, going to Lifetime Fitness. And that's something that I pushed off for a long time, right? Because that's, the first thing that you do is push off your health and fitness, I think, when, shit gets busy and, you're taking care of family or your kids. But I think what it comes down to, it just comes down to, it's interesting. If I really like to have like deep conversations, and if you ask someone what they want to do, they'll go on and on and on, what they want to do, what they wish to do, what they hope to do. Like they'll ramble. But if you ask someone what they choose to do, oh, hold up. All of a sudden it's like, it's a very different conversation. You know what I mean?
How does that go? They recognize that they're wasting their time or some shit?
Well, I think it's like where the rubber meets the road when you ask someone what they choose to do. I mean, first off, they're going to look at you like you're a pothead. But secondly, it's like they actually have to declare like what they're going to do. And it's like all of your excuses, like they just don't cut it tomorrow. It's like, it's very easy to say like, oh, I want to do my juice cleanse tomorrow, but do I choose to do it? Like, am I willing to make the sacrifice? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's maybe.
It's kind of like me, man. Like I want to get in better shape. Like I want to work out. I do. Like pretty much every day I think about like today, tomorrow's a good day to get started tomorrow. I even said it to my wife tonight. She said something. I said tomorrow, because we have something coming up in October. And I said something about being fat to fit. I was like, babe, can you go from fat to fit in 2 months? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to start tomorrow. Am I really going to choose to start tomorrow? Nah.
But you know what? That's also part of the thing, man, is I used to be a lot like that. And it was like this January, I was like, you know what? Fuck all that shit about, it's all about wanting to lose 20 pounds, this, that, and the other. Like, I really want to love the process.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now, and really, like, that has helped change. It's like I'm still not where, and I've been working out, going at least 8, 12. Last month, I think I went 17 times, which was actually my best month ever. But that's because I actually, you know, chose and committed to doing it. And it has come from loving the process, not what the scale says, and not, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just so weird. Sorry, I didn't want to get down that path. What would you say?
Oh, I mean, I was listening, bro.
I mean,
It's
if you want to stay down that path, we can.
well, if
Uh,
like times that I've been motivated to get shit done like that, I've had one time I had a personal trainer. I told you about that picture. I was holding my daughter, man, and my buddy commented. He was like, "Oh, Steve Lope, your shoulders are popping." I was feeling good, I was getting compliments. "Oh, Steve, you're looking good. What are you doing? This, that, and the other." Oh, it felt all good. But then my buddy moved that I was workout partners with, and then we actually had a personal trainer because that's how I'm held accountable. Like if I pay top dollar to have a personal trainer, not top dollar, but friends rate is expensive enough for me for personal training.
right.
And I had to be there at 6:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. And if I didn't show up, my trainer was going to show up, who was kind of a buddy of mine, and I was going to leave him hanging. Well, I wasn't going to do that. So I was going, and we did what we called country boy workouts, where you were picking up some kind of log, and it just felt great, and I enjoyed it, and I was loving it. And then my buddy moved, and I think my trainer guy, he actually ended up moving too, or getting another job somewhere, and it
Yeah,
just fizzled away. But that was like the best opportunity I ever had to really make it happen.
yeah. And I, to be honest with you, dude, that would be a totally different story if I had to get up at 6 in the morning to go work out. That just doesn't even. Maybe I could start doing it now after being in 7 months and like skipping lunch and going to work out. But
Speaking of this topic of weight loss and stuff like that and getting in shape, the other day I posted about anybody have any personal trainer friends in the area. And remember, I talked about my family friend, Carissa Stedman, who's like the chef. Um, she reached out to me on Facebook Messenger the other day. We chit chat back and forth sometimes. She creates content for YouTube about being like, I don't know, cooking healthy and stuff, like really healthy.
mhm.
Um, let me see here. I'm pulling through it. She said, "Hey, I saw your post the other day about trying to shed the extra pounds. I was thinking this would be a great segue to a health podcast. I do have my associates in food science, and I have a food background from working as a line cook to catering private events, masters, 3 years to meal plans and prep for clients. We could do some kind of mini series, begin with the basic science to weight management, diets, keto, paleo, vegan, talk plant-based and balanced living. I'm brainstorming right now, so don't feel overwhelmed. Water fasting is something we could include or
Yes.
talk later as well. Intermittent fasting as well as intuitive eating and calorie counting. All the stuff we could go through."
I love it, dude. That's why we were supposed to get on this podcast tonight, is because it's been on my mind even today when I came in the door and doing this juice cleanse. I'm like, where do I go from here? Like, I don't know. And I'm like most people, right? I don't know how to eat properly, and I don't know what to believe on the internet. I don't think that what we were taught growing up is necessarily the way you're supposed to eat either. Like the food triangle, like you got grains on the bottom. It's actually probably supposed to be like, flipped. You know what I mean? Would love to have her on the podcast. That'd be amazing.
I just emailed her.
I like it.
All
I
right.
mean, let's get healthy, dude. Like, you talk about like one trillion to one, and
Yeah, your one life and stuff like that, and I'm
you
over
know,
here drinking 9 sodas a day.
drink. You're treating your body like shit, drinking 9 sodas a day.
Yeah.
You know,
Big old chow on my lip.
Big old.
Every chance I can get.
But you are a country boy, so you got to put that dirt in your lip. I used to do it too, so I can't talk shit.
Yeah. Oh, something else I was going to mention too before we get off. What time is it? 11:45. So something I've been struggling with, and I'll talk to you about this. Maybe you can help me work through it, because I reached out to my Valor Media buddies to get their 2 cents, and they pull up there. Yeah. So I said, boys, I need some help finding my ad sales manager voice on LinkedIn. I want to post content, but every attempt I make, I second guess myself. I think it's due to being more of a professional network versus just chopping it up with the people. Any advice? I want to offer value and let people get to know me and my role. So he says, let's get on the phone, man. We BS for a second. And he said some tips would be to, these are some pretty smart young cats. So
for sure,
find articles on publications that naturally get a lot of clicks. Forbes, Addicted to Success, Business Insider, etc., and share them on your own with genuine comments on the articles. Motivation and inspiration does well. Someone you could get some inspiration from on this is Brad Lea.
I don't know.
If you're reading, quotes from the books are great with your thoughts, reflections that you have on your day-to-day experience. So those are like 4 tips from him, but it's basically finding articles that get clicks, reading it, understanding it, and sharing your thoughts on that particular article. Motivation and inspiration does well. Look for, people that motivate you, share some of their thoughts, and post. If you're reading a book, say I'm reading the Gary Vee book, pull something out of there, share it with my thoughts as well. And then just talk about your day. But every time I go to LinkedIn, like with this new gig, I kind of feel like, all right, I work for Triangle Business Journal, man. This is a connected place. Like there's CEOs, there's marketing directors, there's people in high places that I want to get in front of, but I kind of feel like I'm still the new guy. Who am I to have a voice yet? And I type up something and I don't think it's good enough and I delete it. And I've done it like 5 or 6 times and I'm getting frustrated because I love social media. I love making content and it's not like me to hold back, but whenever it's more of that professional feel of a network, I kind of feel like I'm getting judged by people. And it's just, I find myself struggling with it. I hate it. What are your thoughts on that?
And so the end game is to just put out more like valuable content that people.
Well, the end goal, I guess the big goal is I want people to know who I work for and what my role is there. That's it. I want that is sort of the end goal. And to, it's not about so much like creating value or selling anything, but I want them to know my role. So whenever it's time for them to take advantage of our services, they know who to call. They know there's somebody that they've seen, they followed, or they've listened to, or they've interacted with. It's just sort of tiptoeing into the relationships via, likes and comments and stuff like that on LinkedIn versus, just saying, oh, look at this person on LinkedIn. Let me hit the connect button. Let me send them a message. It's just that day-to-day, everyday content where people just get used to seeing you, and maybe you start building that online relationship with them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think one of the things too is like that's where like the documenting your day, maybe not every day or however you want to do it, but I mean, think of how cool that might be to someone on the come up who thinks that they want to go into what you do, but they have no idea what that even looks like. It could be like a good recruiting platform as well, to just share like what your day looks like to other people. I mean, I have no idea what someone in your role does all day or, the highlights. I mean, I think that would be cool, or like what you're thinking, or, some kind of practical information.
It could be like, never managed a team before. And from thoughts from a thoughts from a rookie sales guy, sales manager or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I think one of the biggest misses, like on LinkedIn, and I mean, this goes for every platform, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, especially probably, is everyone's just a bunch of like thumbers and scrollers. Like if I was a CEO of some big corporation down there, and you are, you know, very intentional about liking my stuff and commenting on my stuff all the time, like you do with Johnny's Pizza, I mean, that means the world to people like that. You know what I mean? You start to build influence that way. And I feel like at that point, you pretty much just be yourself, and to some point, without getting yourself or your company in trouble, can say or do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, you go on Instagram right now and post something goofy or the true Steve, like Johnny's Pizza, you've already have built up that relationship through social media where they just be like, you know, you the man, Loper. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know. And maybe even, obviously you guys have some clients over there, like ask them what would be valuable on LinkedIn to see on LinkedIn, or ask a business owner or CEO of what they would find, you know, valuable on LinkedIn that you guys are working with. I mean,
My thought process on this podcast about building relationships via the podcast, what is something I think would be fun to do, and this is sort of like an internal type of deal that I could sort of do and then maybe share internally, is to find reps in other markets to come on a Google Hangout like this. And like even during the day while they're at work and I'm at work, but take 30 minutes out of them just to say, okay, man, I noticed that you were selling more digital in Austin, Texas than any other rep, you know, in any of the other 43 locations. Tell me how the hell you're doing it. And then create this, you know, this back and forth with them, and then actually be able to end it and then create a video, then share it with my staff, and then share it with the rest of the company. Really, that would be pretty epic.
For sure. That'd be awesome. Well, and I think one of the things too, I was looking or watching one of Gary's episodes today about, I think they just published it the last couple of days. It was pretty cool about how they put out content, and they were talking about Instagram TV. You know, so Gary's got his like vlog going. He's got another camera guy, it seems like, and he's got a guy sitting down at the computer, and the guy at the computer is reading to Gary this article about Instagram TV. Did you see that at all?
No, I don't think so.
Basically, long story short, Gary said, fuck it. Like, I'm not a pundit, you know, I only comment on stuff that I do, and like, I haven't done Instagram TV or, you know.
Oh, yeah, I listened to that in the car. I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's like one thing to keep in mind for LinkedIn is like, you know, I mean, yeah, like interview people from different areas and like talk about shit, you know, like that was my biggest takeaway. It's like, I'm not here to like guess and like predict what's going to happen. Like, just talk about shit, you know, and that alone would be interesting to someone. Like, you could probably write a LinkedIn post tomorrow, whether you want to or not, about what it's like emceeing a group of 400 people. Dude, I would have no idea what that's like. And to me, if I'm a CEO, and be like, hey, this is me, maybe not everyone's like that, but be like, that's a cool guy. Like, to have the balls to stand up and MC an event like that. Obviously, he cares about his kids. He's involved in his community. Like, that's someone I want to work with.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what it would be like to MC an event. I have no idea. Are you supposed to say a little bit of something about each kid? Are you supposed to like?
No, what I did is I did the opening and the outro basically. So I went up and welcomed everybody. You know, I told them the kids come up to the front, sit down. We've got refreshments in the back here. We've got the awards back here. We've got if you need to pick up your team picture, it's back in the back. We're going to be getting started in a few minutes, and then we take a few minute break. And then when it's time to get things rolling, I just basically, ask for everybody's attention. We're about to get started, and just basically welcomed everybody to the 2018 Cary Park Sea Dragons Swim Team Award Ceremony. My name's Steve Loper. I am on the board of directors and the announcer for the swim teams this year. First, before we get things kicked off, I wanted to give a special thanks to our sponsors, and I went through them. And then I did a special shout out to the board of directors. And then I came across myself and I said, Steve Loper, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, how about y'all giving Steve a big round of applause now? I got everybody clapping for me real loud. But just I didn't have no script. I was just trying to roll with it. I had the names on my cell phone that I would scroll through and read off. It was fun. I would like to do more of that stuff, but I was always had stage fright, man. Like tonight was a big night. Like I was telling my wife, like, you don't understand. Like I've talked in front of a room of 60 or 80 people on numerous occasions. Like when I was doing like training stuff for the bank and stuff like that. But a room of like, maybe 300 to 500 people tonight. Oh man,
that's a lot.
It's been since like elementary school, whenever stage fright hit me and I messed up singing that day. Like, so it was a step in the right direction. I didn't have like a heart attack. Chest wasn't beating like I used to be so scared of. Anyway, what else was I going to say? I was going to say something else, man. Oh, we did a event. So at my new job too, we do a bunch of events. We do like the top 50. It's called Fast 50, the 50 fastest growing companies in the Triangle.
Okay.
We'll host an event and we'll invite them and hand out the awards for the top 50 fastest growing. We'll do the CEO awards. We do like it's called Tomorrow in Real Estate's like a commercial real estate event. We have like the other day we did this family business panel, I guess you'd call it. So the main topic was like succession planning, and like whenever, say your dad owns the real estate company and he's going to pass it on one of these days, and you've got two brothers that are older than you, but you're the only one that really works in the business and loves it. How do you make the decision to give more of the business to the young kid who actually cares about it when the oldest kid just assumed he was going to get it? And one thing that I noticed that we weren't doing was we weren't recording it. Like we recorded it via camera and they transcribed it. It's going to be turned into an insert. It's going to go into our weekly publication so people can read. That's a sponsored content piece that gets put in there. And the people on the panel were the sponsors of the event. And there's a big crowd of like, 100, 150 people in the place. But it could have very easily been a podcast. Like you could have very easily had these people mic'd up. The people asking questions were asking them on a mic, like, and people could have drove around listening to that. I think that's one simple addition that we can do. But I got to get my feet wet first before I start coming in there. And we need to do more. I'm preaching social media and I haven't got anybody listened yet, but we're going to get there.
That's right.
Well, man, it's midnight, dude. I got to roll.
All right. You get rolling. Get yourself tucked in.
All right, guys. Thank you for welcoming us back. We hope we weren't too long-winded tonight. But just take note that life does get in the way. It's going to get in the way again for us. It's going to get in the way for you in the future. But whenever it does, just recognize this is only life getting in the way. I'm going to handle what I need to handle, and then I'm going to get my shit together and push through this and get back on track.
Right on.
Easy enough?
Peace out, Heavy Hitter Nation. Do something tomorrow that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. Push it out. And what else was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. But do something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. Challenge you. And choose. Choose wisely. Make a choice tomorrow. Big Steve, maybe only drink 5 pops tomorrow. All right. Peace out.
See you guys later.